Hi, welcome back to the channel. So I often advocate for improving your mobility to improve your martial arts. And I get a lot of questions then asking me how they should do this and how they should put together a kind of daily or every other day stretching routine. So what I thought I'd do is I'll show you a follow along session that you can do with me. It'll be a very short session, maybe 10 minutes at the max. And we're going to cover the entire body. So something you can do every day, or like I say, every other day. You can fit it into your schedule. It's going to be within a small space, so you don't need a load of space to do this. And by doing this consistently over a long period of time, your flexibility and mobility will improve. And as a result, your martial arts will become easier, stronger, faster. You'll be more injury resistant, and you'll just enjoy training more. Now, before we go on, I just want to mention my partnership with Art Martial Clothing. They're a martial arts inspired lifestyle brand, and they do all these kind of martial arts designs and stuff. I'll put a link to their website in the description of this video, along with a discount code to get you 20% off. Okay, so go and check them out. Get yourself some training gear. They've got some really nice looking designs, so have a look at those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the whole session. It's going to be a methodical approach. So what's going to happen is I'm going to start with the upper body, like the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back area. Then we're going to move down to the ankles, the feet, and then move on to kind of the hips, quads, hamstrings, and lower back. Okay, so make sure you have a quick warm up before you start, just to get the blood flowing a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything drastic, but just a little bit of a movement just to get yourself ready to go. But you can almost go into this cold, because it's going to be a gradual progression into the stretches. So the first thing we're going to do then, like I said, is we're going to start right from the top of the body, from the head. So if we just come from here and we're just going to bring our head down and up, just looking down and up, just trying to take your neck through the full range of motion. Okay, we don't want to push anything too far. Just taking it easy, just working up and down with the head. Next, we're going to take it side to side. Remember, flexibility is an entire body thing. So it's not just simply the legs when you're kicking, for example. Even restrictions in the neck can cause problems when you're kicking. If any of you have had a neck injury before, and I've had times when I've pulled my neck and stuff, it affects your kicking. You're trying to kick, but your neck is kind of stuck. So it's important to have flexibility and warm up every part of your body. So then we're going to take our head side to side, this way. We can increase this stretch slightly by taking the opposite hand away from the neck and leaning over. So we're lengthening the traps and the muscles of the neck this way. So what I'm doing with my back, or my arm at the back, is just turning it around this way, kind of anchoring it in position, just so I can lengthen this side here. And then I'm going to take the other side, same thing. You should feel a nice stretch down the side of the neck there. Okay, just leaning again and again. Now we're going to take care of the shoulders a little bit. So what I want to do is just start by rounding the shoulders forwards this way. Okay, so nice and relaxing upper body, but here, just taking the shoulders for a full circle. I want to be taking my shoulders back and forwards here like this. Okay, back and forwards. So I'm bringing the scapula together here at the back. So the shoulder blades are coming together. And then I'm going to round forwards here. Round. Okay, just slowly, just kind of mobilizing and getting control over the whole shoulder joint there. Then we can reverse that, come back the other way. Okay, in and round. In and round. Really trying to, like I say, bring the scapula together at the back. So we're really contracting the back and then coming through, expanding. Contract and expand. So we're getting that nice opening position of the back. Yeah, really round that back out as we come through. From there, we're going to make a bigger motion. So I'm going to take the arm, single arm, for a full circle. Okay, just slowly with me like this. So we're going to be taking the arm fully around. I want to try to imagine I'm pushing my shoulder down to the floor, and then I'm reaching it as far forward as I can, high as I can, and as far back as I can. Okay, so that's a full circle there, not just kind of a small circle like this. I want to try to push my arm around the circle the entire way. Okay, we can get a few repetitions of this, and then I want to go the other way around. So same thing, and it's all under control. So I'm controlling the motion rather than swinging it and letting momentum do the work. So now I'm pushing the arm around. Okay, so we're going around this way, extending. And then we're going to do the other side. Okay, so same thing with the other arm. Full circle. Again, really trying to reach as far as we can with that arm, pushing it out this way, okay? Reverse it, back the other way. So we're really opening up that shoulder joint and the chest area, and again, the back area as we're coming through. Next from here, we're going to open the chest up. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to open the chest up a bit. So same kind of idea, we're going to squeeze in and out. In and out, really opening up the chest here, okay? I want to alternate the arm that goes on top. So I want to kind of squeeze myself in here, open up, squeeze myself in and open up, squeeze myself in and open up. So my idea with this motion here is just try to make myself as big as possible. So I want to contract everything, or pull everything in, and then open everything out as far as we can. I'm turning the palms up to the ceiling to really open up the biceps and everything from there, and then coming back in again. Close and open back up. Close, open back up. Let's get 2 more times. 1 more. Open back up. Okay, good. So from that point, we're going to move down to the wrists and just roll these wrists around, okay? So remember, people often think that the flexibility in martial arts is all in the legs and kicking and hips, but it's everything. It's wrists, fingers, feet, shoulders, neck, all this kind of stuff is all important, okay? We must make sure that we are taking care of our entire body, not just for the martial art, but also for our health as well. You know, the physical condition of our body is important if we want to practice long term, okay? So we're just making a full range of motion with those wrists. This is especially important in martial arts like jiu-jitsu and that, where we're getting in positions where we're locking each other's wrists up and stuff like that, you know. But also in martial arts like karate and martial arts where we're hitting things, you know, having good strength and mobility in the wrists is going to be important when you are making contact with targets or with a partner. Okay, so from there then, I just want to take the fingers and press down. Okay, so I'm trying to get a stretch up here in my forearm. So fingers down and pressing straight. What I can do from here is use the floor, so I can come down and I can press into the floor and do both hands at the same time. Okay, this is a nice way to kind of make it a little bit more time efficient and get probably a deeper stretch as well. So I'm just turning my fingers towards my body and leaning back slightly to really lengthen out those forearm muscles on the underside there. Okay. Good. So from that position now, we're going to take the hips around in a circle. Okay, so we're moving a little bit further down the body again. So hips around in a full circle there. I want to have the feet turned to the front, okay? And I don't want the feet to kind of like collapse over to the sides. I want to keep the feet where they are and move my body around and keep the feet flat on the floor. Okay, so we're trying to draw a big circle with our hips this way. And the other way. Make sure we go both directions there. Okay, so this is not only just taking care of the hips and back, but it's also working on the ankles, because as I said, we're trying to keep the ankles in that position and then moving the feet around that position, or moving the legs around that position. Okay, if you're allowing the ankles to kind of come in with it and stuff like this, it's not going to be working the ankles at all. The ankles want to be planted on the floor, and we're coming around in a full circle this way. Okay, so as I said, we started off with the upper body, the neck, shoulders. Then we went on to the wrists and hands, and then a little bit of the hips there, but I'm going to go down to the floor now. Okay, so we're going to skip the hips out for the minute, and we're going to go to the ankles. Okay, so what I want to be doing from here is getting down to a kneeling position, and I want to pull my toes up, and I want to sit against the toes. So I'm stretching the arch of my foot. Okay, so my feet are planted like as if I'm making a front kick for those making karate, you know, a ball of the foot position. From here, so sitting back and stretching the sole of my foot this way. I can rock from side to side. So we'll just hold this for a little while. Again, rocking, favoring one side over the other sometimes. So I'm over my left foot right now, and then I'm going to be over my right foot here. Okay. One more time, left and right. What I'm going to do from here now is put one leg in front, and I want to just push my knee over my toes. Okay, still trying to keep this heel planted on the floor. Okay, so from here, keeping my heel planted on the floor and just pushing over those toes, getting a nice stretch in the back of the lower leg here. Okay, the Achilles tendon there, the calf, the ankle, just pushing over that knee, pushing over those toes. From that position, just pop up into a calf raise and come back down, back into it again. So we're coming into that calf raise this way, contracting the calf, then relaxing it and pushing over into that stretch again. Okay, so we hold that just a little longer there. And back, push up and down. Okay, other leg. So we take the leg in front, push over the toes. Okay, so my goal is to get the knee further beyond my toes this way. Okay, so pressing over the top, lift the heel up, come down, go into it again, push over those toes. Come back, lift the heel, back down, push over those toes. So we'll hold this a little longer again. A way to intensify this is to lean into that knee slightly, or we can take a weight and put it on the knee just to sort of add some more downward force this way over that knee. Trying to really lengthen the back here. Open these ankles up a bit. Okay, from that position, I'm going to take a seated position, and I want to just go from here, and I just want to roll one foot around in a circle. Let's go for 8 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, okay? Then we'll reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Same on the other leg, so a full circle. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Reverse it. 5, 6, 7, 8. So the idea there is to try to make as much of a range of motion as we can. Okay, so we're trying to open up those ankles nicely. Really try and draw the biggest circle we can with that foot. Okay, right around, trying to mobilize those ankles, make them stronger, make them less prone to turning over. Okay, just strengthen those ankle joints up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to come down to the legs and the hips. So what I want to do first of all is go into a lunge position. Okay, so I'm going to take my right leg forwards first. All right, so from here, just coming down. I don't want to put my back knee to the floor just yet. Okay, so I'm going to go nice and long here, back knee off of the ground. All right, from this position here, keeping the back knee off the ground for a second there. And then I'm going to just lower it down and place the instep on the floor. Now again, I want to press over those toes, and I want to be thinking about keeping this knee in position and having the hip flexor, which runs up this way here, to stretch here. Okay, so it's kind of relaxed now. I want to stretch it around the hip joint there. Okay, so we're still on that right side, just pushing into that stretch there. To intensify this, if we want to increase it slightly, I'm going to take the back foot and also lift that up and bring that into a quad stretch. Okay, as well. So we've got the hips pressing forwards. So the idea then, like I said, is to actively push this hip forwards, push into it. I don't want to be sitting back here because again, that's the muscle is relaxed. Okay, so from here, push into that stretch. Again, this is a bit more advanced, but we can still keep that back foot down and press into that stretch this way. So we're going to hold that just for a few more seconds. Okay, and then we'll go to the other side. So left leg now. Left leg up first. Okay, so up here. Back foot in the floor, knee off the ground to start with. Hold that position there. And then lower the instep and the knee to the floor. Same thing, so pressing over those toes, trying to lengthen the hip flexor at the back. And then again, to advance it, we can bring that back foot up with the back hand and still focus on pushing into that stretch there. Hold this one a little longer. Okay, and relax. Right, from here, we're now going to get into a squat position. Okay, so we're going to start working on the groin and opening the hips up a little bit. So I want to place the feet just outside shoulder width maybe. The squat position will be different for everybody because everyone's hip structure is different. For me, I have to go slightly wider and turn my feet out a little bit so I can get down. So I'm going to keep my hands in front, come into that squat position here, try and keep the heels down. Okay, so sitting into that squat, keeping those hips opened up, and we can use our hands also or our arms to push those knees out a little further. And again from here, I like to just rock from side to side just to kind of open these hips up a little more on one side and then the other side. Okay, so I'm just sitting into that stretch for a second this way. From here now, I want to extend one leg to the side and sit down onto that back leg. So we're kind of squatting with one leg and we're stretching the other leg out. The toes, I want the toes on this leg to be facing upwards. So we're working on lengthening these hamstrings. Okay, so from here, just pushing those toes up to the ceiling and holding that stretch there. I can also use my back elbow to try to prise the hips open a little bit as well to add some extra work to this one. Okay, so we'll hold that just a little longer and then switch to the other side. Okay, so sitting down, letting those the toes come up to the ceiling in that position there and sink into that position, lengthening those hamstrings underneath. Okay, so if the body is turned this way, then I'm now working a different part of the hip. I want to be having the toes up so that the hamstrings are being stretched from underneath there. Okay, again, same feeling, pushing this back knee out if I need to add a little something to that stretch. Hold that just a little longer. Okay, coming up to the center now, both legs apart and dropping the body down in front from here. Keeping my legs straight, okay, and the hips are being pressed backwards. So I'm not so much rounding from the upper body, I'm thinking more about pushing my hips back. Okay, so my hips are going back this way, towards the wall behind me. And from that position, I'm going to sit down to one side and come back up. Sit down to the other side and come back up. Sit down to one side, come back up. Sit down to the other side and come back up. All right, we're nearly there. So what I'm going to do now is come down to the floor. For the last part of the last portion of the session, I want to bring my feet together and knees down to the floor this way. Okay, so just a relaxed position for the moment. Try to get the knees down and body up high. I don't want to be kind of rounded over like this, like you see quite often. I want to be here, chest high, and forcing the knees downwards with my abductors. Okay, so the muscles of the glutes and stuff, just pulling down this way, trying to open those hips up. All right, from that position, just hold that and relax. Then from here, I'm going to extend one leg to the front and I'm going to reach forwards. But again, I'm not going to lean from the upper body. I'm just going to lean from kind of the waist. I almost want to try and bring my belly button down this way towards the leg. Okay, so it's this way. I'm not trying to get my head down or anything like this. I'm just leaning forwards, reaching towards that leg, keeping this leg stretched out. Just hold that for a little longer. And then from there, I'm going to take my opposite hand, or the hand I was just reaching out to that leg with, against my back knee, and I'm going to twist. At the same time, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to breathe out as I twist around into that stretch. Just trying to make space in the chest, right? So I'm taking a deep breath again. As I breathe out, just allow myself to go around a little further. Just getting this lower back. Switch legs. So we have the leg on the inside. We're reaching forwards to that front foot. Again, just trying to bring the kind of lower part of your body down towards the leg, more so than the upper body. Just reaching forwards, holding that leg for a second. Hold it for 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Same feeling. So take the opposite hand against that knee. Breath. And breathe out. Twisting against that knee. Okay, nearly there. What I want to do now is go onto my knees. I want to sit back on the knees and slide the hands forwards this way. Pull myself close to the floor and push up, arching the back. Coming down, push back again, and back in again, push back up. One more time, come back, and push back up. And last thing I like to do is forearms on the floor, knees out to the side. So we're kind of making a split, kind of making like a split, but with the knees only. Okay, so from here, knees pressing out. My feet are still sideways on the floor like this. My feet on the floor and my knees are pressing out. I'm trying to get my hips back into that position there. Okay, so knees outwards. Hold this for a minute or so, for 20 seconds or so. And then to finish up, we're going to come out to the sides, into that split as far as we can, and just hold this one. And Slowly come back up. Okay, shake the legs off. Hips around one more time. Okay, so that is it. We could now move into a training session, use this as a warm-up, or you can use that as a daily stretching routine. So you can follow along with me. Easy enough, just repeat the video, watch it again, do it at the same time. I'm holding the stretches for about the right time for you to sort of do it as well. It doesn't have to be every day, just like any part of training, there needs to be rest days as well. So you don't want to be doing 7 days a week stretching. 3, 4, even 5 times a week would be good, but 7 days is still not giving the body enough time to adapt and to recover from the stresses you're putting on it. Because even the stretching is putting stress on the muscles and the muscle fibers and stuff. So we need to be recovering between sessions. So make sure you're consistently doing it, but don't push it too much every day. Gradually work on improving the range of motion in things, and over time you're going to see a great improvement. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.